Hello guys, welcome to the channel, and today I'm gonna talk about Ketu in the first house and Rahu in the seventh house. They're always sitting in front of each other because Ketu and Rahu, both of these like shadow planets, they are part of like one body. Ketu is the torso and the Rahu is the head, and in English we call them south node and north node. And we are gonna first talk about the first house. As you can clearly see on the screen, that first house represents your body, face, mind, attitude, self, physical outlook, all these things. And seventh house is your partner, spouse, marriage, like business partners. Anything has to do with business or contracts. I mean, getting married is also a contract. You can have like a girlfriend represents your fifth house, but once you get into the contract of marriage, then she's your partner, um, partner in crime as well. So the first house, is also called the ascendant. It is the house of self, like it is your physical body. And like when a person is born, that part of the horizon where the sun is rising at the time when an individual is born, that is called like ascendant, lagna, first house. So it is very crucial to have like good planets in the first house, because first house also represent, as you can clearly see on the screen, it also represents your personality, health, you know uh, like everything, like in physical body it represent. But mainly, first house represent the head as well, just the head part, and face. So different planets act, and different zodiac signs, rashis, they act differently. And that's why some people have like thick eyebrows, some people have like really cute eyes, like really cute nose, really good features, and some people have like really aggressive features. Everything is represented by the first house zodiac sign, and the planets that are placed in the first house. Okay, and seventh house, as you can clearly see, I already talked about it. Like anything has to do with business, contract, like dealing with others, because first house, yourself, and seventh house sitting across from first house, so seventh house means other people. you know and okay, now let's talk about a little bit about Ketu. When I started learning about astrology, um, after reading a lot of books, and like after a lot of studies, different astrologers have different like perspective about K2, or like different planets. Some people think, oh, sun is really important. Most of the people think, most of the astrologers, they think moon is really important, and they always see your birth chart from the moon lagna. And what I believe, this is my personal point of view, personal opinion, that Ketu is the most important planet, in everybody's birth chart, horoscope. Why? Because Ketu is like a manual, you know, it comes with you, and you have all the experience from the previous lives. If you don't believe in previous lives, then like experience from your ancestors. So let's say if your ancestors been doing business for like centuries, so you already have, that kind of experience. And if your ancestors been doing, like spiritual healing, they are like some type of peer, guru, tantric, so you already naturally have that kind of experience. So it is called, like the inlet from the past life. And Ketu, it doesn't have any zodiac signs, but some astrologers believe that Ketu represent the 8th house and the 12th house. It gives results according to the 8th house and the 12th house. And 8th house Rashi is Scorpio and 12th house Rashi is Pisces. 8th house major transformation, and 12th house is isolation. And some astrologers believe that Ketu also give results, like Mars. It does, but the dharma it wants to do it wants you to do is like more like Jupiter, because Jupiter is also very spiritual planet. So Ketu represents spirituality as well. It is a karka of moksha, significator of salvation. So for some people, transformation is like really painful, but for some people it's really good. So it doesn't matter, people always get scared, oh, my Ketu is placed in this house, or I'm not gonna get good results from that house. That's not true. Ketu always give results. I'm gonna talk more about how Ketu act in different houses, but first let me explain what Ketu is. Ketu always act as its dispositor. So if Ketu dispositor is really strong, well placed in the birth chart, it's gonna give you like good results. And if Ketu dispositor is not well placed in your birth chart, then you're gonna get bad results. Some people get super rich. I'm talking about billionaires during Ketu Mahadasha. And some people, they get like dirt poor in Ketu Mahadasha because Ketu is detachment. So whatever if you want to get good results from Ketu, act as Ketu. Don't act as Rahu from that house, So let's say if Ketu is placed in 5th house and you're obsessed with 5th house matters, you're not gonna get good results. So just detach from that thing, and then you're gonna start getting like good results. So now let's talk about Ketu. So if your Ketu is placed in the 1st house and Rahu is always sitting across from it, Rahu is placed in the 7th house, regardless of the zodiac signs of your 1st house and 7th house, some of the key themes are gonna play it out in your life, you know. And we are gonna talk about those themes. So first, physical appearance. So as we talked earlier, that Ketu act like Mars, but in a very subtle way. So you're gonna have first house represent your physical appearance and especially your head, and you're gonna have like a cut mark or birthmark on your face or on your forehead. Always you're gonna have this, some type of birthmark on your scalp, forehead, face, or cut on your face, and K2, in the beginning, like I'm talking about before 25. If your Ketu is placed in the first house, no matter whatever you achieve in those 25 years, you're not gonna get recognition. So for example, you're going to school, you're scoring very good grades in the school, you're getting all the A's, you're getting all the top prizes in your 25, before 25, but you're not gonna get recognition. And if you're like right now 35 or 30, 35, 40, and if you talk to your teachers and school buddies, or college buddies, and tell them, oh, you remember how good student I was, I was getting all the good grades, and they would be like, yeah, we don't remember that, we don't have like that kind of memory of you. You were always very shy, you were always very like close, always like have very close friend circle, always sitting in the back quietly. That's not true. That's not true. You were like very outgoing extrovert, like A student. And in India and Pakistan, Bangladesh, in those countries, they have like this thing called, like where they make you a class monitor, prefect or captain, something like that, to watch other kids and to maintain discipline in other kids, So if you were a captain or prefect in your school, in your class, people still not gonna remember that. People gonna be like, oh yeah, we don't remember, we remember the other person becoming the prefect, even though that person became like temporary prefect or captain. We don't remember, like you becoming captain for 4 years in our school time. And what I'm talking about, you're not gonna have that impact on people's mind. Maybe life, but not mind. And your life is gonna be very subtle, and then this is the first thing. And then you're gonna, shy nature, it really depends on the Rashi, zodiac sign, and the dispositor of zodiac sign. So let's say if you have like sun as your dispositor and sun is exalted in your birth chart, you're not gonna be shy. You're gonna act like sun. Sun is not shy, and Leo Rashi is not shy. but you're gonna have like a little bit mysterious personality, that's for sure. You know, you're not gonna talk about yourself that much with other people, and that's another thing. And then you're gonna wanna have like a lot of different relationships, and that's like throughout your life. And in the early age, you know, you're not gonna find a perfect partner, that I can tell you. If you get married before 32, because 32 Mars, you know, matures at 32, and Ketu act as Mars, uh, and you know, 8th Rashi and 12th Rashi, so Jupiter and Mars, Pisces and Mars, I mean Scorpio. So if you get married before 32, you're gonna have like a lot of problem in your relationship. I'm gonna tell you why. So if you get into a relationship, you wanna have like relationship, you wanna connect with people, not just like for like sexual relationship, but you also wanna connect with people. It doesn't matter, you know, like if you connect through social media or you get into sales as a career, you know, you just want to connect with people, you want to listen to people all the time, because Rahu is sitting in your 7th house, and that is your desire. Rahu represents your desire. So but you're gonna find partners who are acting as Rahu, because Rahu is sitting in your 7th house. So you're gonna find friends, partners, you know, as I'm not talking about like good friends, just like, you know, like the people you just know, acquaintance, you know, so they are gonna act like Rahu. So especially your girlfriends, you know, they're gonna act like Rahu. So when they're acting like Rahu, means they want all the time, you know, with you. They want to spend all day, every day with you. But Ketu is sitting in your 1st house, and you're detached. You want to have like a me time, you know, in a day, like for some time, and your partner just wants you to, you know, like act like crazy lover all the time, like psycho lover, obsessed lover. You're gonna be like, nah, I don't want this. And then you're gonna have breakup, because your partner is acting like Rahu. And you're gonna be like, no, that's not me. I cannot give you all the time. I have other responsibilities as well. And especially the most important thing, I want to have me time. So I cannot give you my whole time, because you're I mean, not selfish, but like according to time, I would say, you know, you're selfish for your time. So you want to have like me time, but your partner is not gonna let you have that time. So you're gonna have breakup, and then after breakup, you're gonna feel very lonely, isolated, and then you're gonna start looking for another partner, and then you're gonna find another partner. That partner, they can be a saint, you know, to other people, but when they are with you, they are acting like Rahu, because your Rahu is sitting in the 7th house, not theirs. So, you know, then again the same story gonna repeat itself. So then if you get married before 32, your wife, your spouse, husband, wife, you know, gonna act the same way as Rahu. they're gonna be very materialistic. That's for sure. And as I told you, like regardless of the zodiac sign, I don't like to bite my words and gives you like less bitter medicine. It is what it is. Rahu is placed in your 7th house and your partner is acting like Jupiter. That's not gonna happen. So you're gonna have partner who is very materialistic, who loves to party, who loves to be on social media all the time. That's before 32. And who just want to have like time, like all the time. And if you get separated or divorced before you're 32, your partner is going to take everything, because Rahu is 7th. Rahu is very cunning planet. Rahu is like a gangster, so it's going to take everything from you. If you're even if you're female or male, it doesn't matter. So because that's what they want from you. And that was the first, that was the reason they got into relationship with you, because they know that you're very detached. Rahu is very smart, like street smart planet. So they know how you're feeling. But now comes the good times. If your dispositor is placed in, dispositor is well placed. So after 32, you're gonna find yourself, because that's what you've been doing since your birth. Because you don't know your personality. You find flaws in your personality. You think, everybody has flaws. Some people are like overweight, some people are bald, some people they are not educated. So everybody has like some type of flaw. But you are very conscious about your flaws. Like in your body what is wrong, and what is wrong in your personality. The way you talk, you're a very self-conscious person. And after 32, you're gonna be more mature, and you're gonna accept those flaws in your personality and then embrace those flaws. Let's say if you're like short in height, then before 32, you're gonna be like, oh man, I'm really short. All my friends, my siblings, they're very tall, and I'm really short. And you were using that excuse and flaw in your personality to hide yourself behind that flaw. But after 32, now you're more mature and you're embracing that flaw. You'll be like, man, height doesn't matter. Success matter. And not monetary success. Success can be, like educational success. Success can be like happiness, monetary gains, anything, business success. So success matter. Height, nobody can, like there are a lot of people in the world with really short height, but still they are like a phenomena in today's world. So you're gonna embrace that like flaw in your personality, and then you're gonna come out of your shelf. And slowly, by the time Saturn matures, like by 36, now you have like very stable life. And then all of a sudden, you're gonna become like a people's person. Rahu is sitting in your seventh house. Seventh house is also like for mass fame. And, and then you're gonna, after maybe like 36 or 42, if dispositor is well placed, you probably can become like a public figure. You can become a public figure, and you can have like a mass fame. So that's the result. And another thing is, you're gonna have very strong mind, but I'm talking about the physical strength. So strong, I mean, in order to lift like something heavy, you need your brain as well. If you're not lifting anything without your brain, you're gonna have like trouble, and you can injure yourself. So you're gonna have like very strong like mental power, and but weak physical strength. So let me just explain this. So people go to gym, they lift heavy weights. That's Jupiter and Mars. Lifting something like in the gym, like weights, that's Jupiter and Mars. And but if you have Ketu in the first house, you start going to the gym, probably you cannot lift really heavy weights, because Ketu is sitting in your first house and gives you like weak physical strength. But when it comes to like moving furniture or lifting something heavy, and you know that how to lift like a sofa because you're using your brain as well to lift that sofa easily. So you're not gonna have problem with that, because Ketu is sitting like on your head, in your brain. So you already know how to lift this heavy equipment or heavy furniture. But I mean, people say like Ketu in the first house gives you like very thin body, but it really depends on the dispositor. So if Mars is your dispositor, I mean Ketu's dispositor, you probably have like Arnold type body. And if Ketu is like Ketu's dispositor is like Saturn, then probably you have Saturn type body, which is like a little bit old. So one more thing, in your early life, you're gonna have some problem as per your fame. Like you're gonna have like some type of affliction on your, and that's just gonna be a rumor. For short period of time, you're gonna become like infamous. And then because Ketu is placed in your first house, and you have like all the past life, like knowledge, and you're thinking, you're not depending on other people. For that short period of time, you're gonna need other people to help you to get out of that like dig. And then you're gonna start depending on other people, And that's a lesson you're gonna learn if you have Ketu in your first house. That sometimes people, you need people to help you. It's not just all the time, oh, I'm helping other people, and oh, I don't need anybody's help. No, it's not like that. And if you're living, breathing, you at like some point you need other people help. And that's a life lesson you're gonna learn in that short period of time. But then you're gonna rise like phoenix from ashes, and then you're gonna become like a public figure, because now you're done with that like karma. And especially if you have like sattvic signs, you're gonna have problem with infamy. And if you like any like Martian signs, you're gonna have problem with health. So infamy, health, but at some point you're gonna need early life. You're gonna need to depend on other people for a really short period of time, and that's how you're gonna like recreate your social network. All your like past friends are gonna be gone, and you're gonna make new friends. You're gonna find really like loyal people in your life. And those people are gonna stand with you throughout your life. And that's the thing. And last, I would suggest some remedies if you have Ketu in the first house. So, spirituality. Ketu requires spirituality. Ketu doesn't want your wealth. Ketu doesn't want your, like donations or anything like that. No. Ketu wants you to be spiritual. So, if you have Ketu in the first house, spend some time to meditate, to pray, in your day, if you want to get good results from Ketu. And second thing is, if you have Ketu in the first house, because Ketu doesn't have like head is sitting in the 7th house, Rahu. So be very careful when you choose your advisors, because you're gonna need some advisors in your life. And if you choose like really like bad advisors who give you like bad advices all the time, you're gonna make your life miserable. So be really careful who you choose as your advisor. You can become your own advisor as well, and you're gonna, because you already have like all the experience, knowledge from your ancestors. The remedy is never ever listen to your brain. Don't do all the calculations, if I do this, then this is gonna happen. No. Always, because Ketu is like torso, always listen to your brain. Your brain is like your heart. So always listen to your heart. Whatever your heart tells you, do it. For example, if you meet a girl and you really like that girl, but your heart, your brain tells you, okay, the girl is like perfect, she's looking supermodel, she's making money, and she can support herself, she's educated, and she's very well maintained girl, and that's the girl I always wanted. But your heart tells you, no, not this one, there is something wrong. So always listen to your heart. There is always something wrong with that like girl. So let's say if you're buying a house and your mind tells you, your brain tells you, you know, like the location is perfect, the square footage and everything is perfect about this house, but your heart stops you. Okay, you know, like, I mean, I'm, you feel like, oh, I'm not still feeling the house, you know, so there is something wrong with this house. Don't buy that house. Same thing for the car. So always listen to your heart. If you have Ketu in the first house, you're gonna make really good decisions if you listen to your heart and not your brain. And be spiritual, because Ketu doesn't require any food, expensive food or donations. You know, be spiritual. And you're born to give. You're gonna give like advices because you have knowledge, as I told you, you know, like from your ancestors. So you're gonna give like greater. So guys, if you really want to understand more about Ketu in the first house and Rahu in the seventh house, there is one TV serial. It's on YouTube as well. Pakistani TV serial. It's a new one. It's called Parizad. Parizad. That main character is pure Ketu. I'm not gonna talk about in details about the show. Just watch it and you're gonna love that show. But you know, as I already mentioned earlier in my video, that it gives you Ketu in the first house and Rahu in the seventh house, gives you a lot of Rahu like partners in your life, and you start your life, I mean, with very like humble beginnings, and then some type of affliction in your fame, and then you rise from ashes, you know, and become like public figure, but you're still detached from every material aspect of life. You're not interested in like mundane things. So watch that TV serial. It's on YouTube as well. Just type, you know, Parizat on YouTube and start watching it. Probably they have like 25, 30 like episodes. It's a great show. And one more thing, I already started giving like free consultations. You know, the whole information is in the description, how to get free consultations, and I'm never ever gonna charge a single penny from anyone for free consultation. I did not learn this sacred knowledge to make money. I just want to help people and get their prayers, you know, get their duas for me and my family, and that's all I need. All right, thank you. And next video I'm gonna talk about Ketu in the second house and Rahu in this eighth house. All right, and meanwhile, if any topic comes up, I will make a video about it as well. All right, thank you and take care.